Hi guys, welcome back to part 3 of this 2015 multiple choice paper. As always, remember, if this video is for you, please ensure that you're learning, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe as we try to prepare for it. And if there's a question that you did not understand, you can comment in the comment section below and I will sure to explain for you, or you can email us at preparedforja@gmail.com. So 41 to 42 refers to this histogram below, with children aged 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 who took part in the survey. So 41, what was the modal age? So guys, I need to know the difference between mean, mode and median. So in this case, they're asking us what was the modal age. So mode is looking at the one that occurs the most. So from the histogram, you can see that the tallest bar is the one that corresponds with the age group 7, which is the number of children being 5. So therefore, the one that occurs the most is 7, and therefore answer 441 is C, as there are 5 children in the age group 7 that participated in the survey. 42 says how many children took part in the survey. So what you need to do is add the number of children that correspond with each age group. So in this case, the one that correspond with 4 is 3, so it will be equal to 3, plus the one that correspond with 5 is 4 children, the one that correspond with 6 is 2, the one that correspond with 7 is 5, and the one that correspond with 8 is 1. So you just need to add these. So it is 4 plus 3, 7, plus 2, 9, plus 5 to give us 14, plus 1 to give us 15, and therefore our answer for 42 is B, which is 15. And we're moving nicely along. 43, Jade score on her 9 spelling tests are, and they're given. Therefore, a median score on these 9 tests is, so guys, remember with the median, it is looking at the number that is in the middle, and therefore we need to arrange our numbers in some sense of order, either from largest to smallest or smallest to largest. So we'll need to put these in order. So it is 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, and we can just look at the middle number. But also guys, the formula in identify the position of the middle number is n plus 1 divided by 2. So it is n plus 1, and all of that is divided by 2, where n is the amount of numbers. In this case, n is 9, so it is 9 plus 1 to give us 10 divided by 2, and that is equal to 5. So our middle number, or median, is in the 5th position. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore answer for 43 is C, which is 6. And remember, if there are 2 numbers in the middle, what we will need to do is to add both numbers and then divide them by 2. So 44, if the mean of the 4 numbers 4, 8, x and 12 is 10, then x is, so it is 4 plus 8 plus x plus 12, and all of that is divided by 4, with the mean being 10. So we're solving for x. So 10 is equal to 24. So 4 plus 8 plus 12 is 24, and that is added to x, and all of that is divided by 4, and we're now finding what x is. So we're moving the 4 from dividing to the other side of the equation, so it becomes multiplication. So it is 10 multiplied by 4 to give us 40, equal to 24 plus x, and therefore x is equal to 40 minus 24, and x is equal to 16. So therefore answer for 44 is D. 45, the boundaries of the class interval 10 to 14 are best recorded as. So remember, when we're looking at boundaries are the end points of a class interval, and they are usually 0.5 lower than the lower class interval and 0.5 higher than the upper class interval. So in this case, it would be C, which is 9.5 and 14.5. So x is greater than or equal to 9.5, or x is less than 14.5. So our answer for 45 is C. And we're moving nicely along. So 46 refers to the graph below. The straight line AB cuts the x-axis at, so remember guys, this is the point that you're looking at, B, right here. So we're looking at this point B. And remember, in reading coordinates from a graph, it is always x-axis followed by y-axis. So it is x, and at this point the x value is 3 and the y-axis value is 0. So therefore our answer is 3, 0. So therefore our answer for 46 is A. And we're moving nicely along. So 47, the relationship that best describes the mapping shown in the diagram is, so this was repeated on the 2007 paper, so you can check the link in the description below for access to that. But what we're looking at is a many to one relationship where there are many x values going to a y value. So there are more than one x values going to a y value. So for this element in particular, you can see that there are 2 x values coming to it, the same for this one and the same for this one. So it is many going to 1. So our answer for 47 is B. So we're moving nicely along. 48, if f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 1, then f of negative 3 is equal to, so if we see x, we will replace it with negative 3. So it is f of negative 3 is equal to 2 multiplied by negative 3 squared minus 1. So therefore f of negative 3 is equal to 2 multiplied by 9, as negative 3 squared, 3 is 9. So it is 2 times 9 to give us 18 minus 1, and 18 minus 1 is 17. So our answer for 48 is C. And we're moving nicely along. So 49 to 50 refers to the graph below. The maximum point of y equal to 4x minus x squared is, so we're looking at the maximum point. And as remember guys, when we're reading axes or coordinates, it is x-axis followed by y-axis. So in this case, 49 is D, which is 2 and then 4. So our answer for 49 is D. And we are moving nicely along. So 50, the values of x at the point where y equal 4x minus x squared intersects y equals 0 are. So the points where it cuts the x-axis, so this is the x-axis, so it is this point and this point. So these points on the x-axis are at 0 and 4. So let's look at which answer correspond with that. So it is 0 and 4. So x is equal to 0 and where x is equal to 4. So our answer for 50 is A. And we are moving nicely along. Item 51 refers to the arrow diagram below. So which of the following best describes the function? So we are looking at what is the relationship between x and y. So we can just look at the answer. So A says f of x is equal to x plus 3. Is that true? When we add the 3 to the x values, does it result in the y value? So 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 3 is indeed 11, and 11 plus 3, so it is 11, 12, 13, 14 is indeed 14. So our answer for 51 is A. So that's just one simple way of looking at it, or you can look at the diagram themselves and try to figure out the relationship and then see which one is your answer. So we're going along. So 52, if the sum of the interior angles of a polygon is 4 right angles, then the polygon is a, so there are different ways to work this question, but I am going to look at a simple formula of n minus 2 multiplied by 180, which is the sum of interior angles, where n is representing the number of sides And what the question is saying, there are 4 right angles, so it is 90 multiplied by 4 to give us 360 degrees. As remember, our right angle measures 90 degrees. So if we're looking at a triangle as 3 sides, and we know that the total degree within a triangle is 180 degrees, so therefore we know that is definitely not our answer. But should we look at the hexagon? The hexagon has 6 sides, so it is 6 minus 2 multiplied by 180. So 6 minus 2 is 4, so it is 4 multiplied by 180 to give us 720 degrees. And for pentagon, it is 5 minus 2, which is 3 multiplied by 180 to give us 540 degrees. And for the quadrilateral, it is 4 minus 2, which is 2 multiplied by 180 to give us 360 degrees. And what we're looking for is the 360 degrees, and the only answer that corresponds with that is quadrilateral, and therefore answer 452 is D. So just remember that little formula, n minus 2 multiplied by 180, and that is the sum of interior angles. And we are moving along. 53, this has repeated on the 2005, 2007, 2009 paper, so it is easy to identify. So therefore the diagram A, B, and C, they are parallel, which best describes the relationship between x and y. X and y are equal. X and y are interior angles. X and y are congruent, so therefore x and y are equal. Right? So therefore answer 453 is B. 54, in the triangle, the value of x is, so remember, total degrees within a triangle is 180, so it will be 180 minus the angles that are given to find the missing angle. So it is 180 minus 60 degrees, and you will get 120 as your answer. So therefore answer 454 is C. And we are moving nicely along. 55, this diagram again. In the diagram, OPQ is mapped. Under that, what type of transformation has taken place? As you can see, O should remain stationary, and this seems like it is a rotation anti-clockwise of 90 degrees. And yes, that is our answer, rotation, as this did not occur as a reflection, as this is not a mirror looking image. So whatever is on this side is definitely not what is on that side. It is not an enlargement, that is definitely not bigger, and it is not a translation. It is indeed a rotation about the point O, and 55D is our answer. 56, the length of MO in centimeters is, so it is, so we can see where 3 is half of this base that was given 6, and the hypotenuse of this triangle would be half of this one, which is 7, so therefore this would be 3.5. As you can see, it's just a reduction of the first triangle, and therefore our answer 456 is B. You can see that it maintains the same degrees in angle, which is 52 and 38 degrees, and it's just that MN is half, which is the half of AB, which was 6 centimeters. So MN is 3 centimeters, which means that our MO, which would be half of AC, is 3.5 centimeters. And we are moving nicely along. So 57, in the triangle not drawn to scale, angle BAC is 30 degrees and AB is 40 meters. The length BC in meters is, so we're given 30 degrees and BC is opposite the angle, opposite 30 degrees. And we're also given the hypotenuse. So we're looking at which one of our formulas from sine, cos, or tan will use both the opposite and the hypotenuse, and the adjacent was not given. And indeed, we know by now that it is sine, as sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So it is sine the angle, which is opposite over hypotenuse, Opposite, therefore, which is what we're trying to find, is sine angle multiplied by hypotenuse. So it is sine 30 multiplied by 40, or 40 multiplied by sine 30, and therefore answer 457 is A. And 58 refers to the diagram below. In the diagram, the translation by point AB is mapped onto, that is represented by, so remember, point plus translation is equal to image. So in this question, we're trying to find, we're given the point and we're given the image, so we're trying to find what the translation is. So therefore it would be the image minus the point to get what the translation is, and we can choose any two random points to get this. So let's use the 7 and 5 from the point B. So it is 7, which is the image, minus 5 to give us 2, and then we can use 8 minus 7 to give us 1. So our translation was a 2, 1 translation, and you could use the points at A. It would be 4 minus 2 to give us 2, and 6 minus 5 to give us 1. So whichever point you choose will always get the same answer, and therefore answer 458 is B. And we are moving nicely along. 59. This was repeated on the 2011 paper that we just did, but it was given in a worded description on that paper, and now they gave you a diagram on the 2015 paper, which should even make things easier. So we're looking for how far up the wall does the ladder reach. So we're just going to use our little formula of a square plus b square is equal to c square. So in this case, then it would be 3 square plus b square, which is what we're trying to find, equal to c square, and c square is a hypotenuse of 5 meters, which is the length of the ladder. So 3 is 9 plus b square is equal to 5 25. So it is b square is equal to 25 minus 9. So therefore b square is equal to 16. And now we're looking at the square root of 16. And therefore b is equal to 4. So our answer 459 is A. And we are moving nicely along. 60 refers to the diagram of a building below. A surveyor sets up his instruments 12 meters from the foot of a building and records the angle of elevation of the top of the building. An estimate of the height of the building is obtained by calculating. So an estimate of the height of the building. So we are given this degree of elevation 40. So therefore the height of the building is opposite the angle, and they gave us the length which is adjacent the angle, which is the 12 meters, how far the man is standing or the surveyor is standing from the building. So we're given adjacent to the angle. So we're looking for which formula includes both opposite and adjacent, and by now we know that it is tan, which is opposite over adjacent. So tan is opposite over adjacent, but this angle of elevation only represents 3/4 of the building. But let me just work out what that 3/4 of the building is. So it is tan 40 is equal to opposite divided by 12, and the 12 being the adjacent angle. So therefore opposite is equal to 12 tan 40. And as I stated before, that does represent 3/4 of the building. There's still about a quarter remaining, which is the height of the surveyor, as it was given as 1.6 meters. So therefore, to get the total height of the building, it is as simple as adding the 1.6 meters to what we already received, which was the 12 tan 40, and that now covers the entire height of the building. So answer 460 is 1.6 plus 12 tan 40, and that is D. And yes, this question is repeated on the 2011, 2009 and 2007 paper, but they gave it in a different representation. It was not a surveyor that was looking at the building, it was a young boy. So thank you for joining us on this journey, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe as we continue to prepare for it.